Hello, dear ones. It is so good to be with you today. And as I said last week, I've been doing a lot of reading and thinking and listening around the issue of trust, since that is our worship theme this month. And everyone needs trusting relationships in their lives. And one of the great privileges of being ministers is that people welcome you into moments of great vulnerability. And we are trusted and privileged with that trust. And it's something we never, ever take for granted. But even ministers need people that they can trust, people that can work in partnership and collaborate with. And I know I'm incredibly blessed. Both Rob and I are incredibly blessed to work with a remarkable staff and collaborate with remarkable lay people of such strength and integrity at Unity Church. But I want to talk about one of our most trusted and trustworthy partners, and a pillar of the church who died recently. And that man is named Rick Heidegger. And so I've been reading a lot of research about trust, because you know I love research. And one of the things that they now know about trust is that it is not built in large, grand gestures, but in the smallest of moments. And it's built in those moments of vulnerability and of unfolding, of that accountability and showing up over time. And at Rick's memorial service, one of his dearest friends and a community activist with whom Rick had been in close partnership for many years, a woman named Mary Kay Boyd, got up and shared remembrances of their relationship. And one of the things she said is that Rick always called her sis. And at first, when Rick called her sis, she was a bit surprised by it. And she said, but over time, I began to call him brother. And he was the first white man in her life that she had ever called brother. But he became like a brother to her. And it was through those small acts of showing up, of working collaboratively, of working on common projects that help build that trust. So the research shows that it is the smallest of moments. It is seizing the opportunity that those small moments of human vulnerability invite us into. So sometimes we can see that a friend is feeling particularly vulnerable, and we can turn away from those, we can pretend we don't notice, or we can show up and say, how are you doing? The other part of this, surprising part of the research, at least for me, is one of the primary ingredients in a trusting relationship, in building a trusting relationship, is sharing our own vulnerability. So it's not in helping people, but in actually making yourself available to other people's help. And that felt paradoxical to me, but I think about Rick's memorial, and over again, people testified to Rick being in collaborative relationship with them, his willingness to be vulnerable, his willingness to show up, not quite knowing what the outcome was going to be, but being willing to be in there and be messy with people and create something new. So I want us, in these times where it's so easy to fall into mistrust, to question what is trustable, to ground ourselves first in the importance of our own trust of self, as I said last week, but to also think about what are the trustworthy relationships in our own lives, and to fall back on them as a foundation as we navigate these days of such uncertainty, especially as we build toward the election, as more and more misinformation is coming our way. What are the things that we can trust, that are bedrock and foundational for us, that we can hold on to and that we can stand upon firmly? And part of what I hope that you can trust is that after this is all over, after the pandemic is done, however it unfolds, there will be a place called Unity Church, and it will be there for you. I hope you take good care of yourself in these days. Be well.